Welcome everybody to another Dreams to Reality podcast. And today is slightly different because today we've got a student on the podcast. How are we doing, my friends?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
How are we then? Because the reason why I asked you to do this podcast was because obviously Boris announced last Monday that we're going back into lockdown and schools are closing. Then you sent me a message. When Boris said we're going into lockdown, school's over, how did that make you feel?
I was shocked. I think I wasn't expecting it at all. And then out of nowhere, I go to watch the TV, lockdown comes, school's finished. I just go into panic mood. Like, I don't know what's next, what's coming, how the future's going to look like.
Just to clarify for everyone, what year you in?
Yeah, I'm in year 11.
Year
GCSE
11. And you also mentioned, obviously, exams not happening. Why was that a concern, exams not happening for you?
I think because myself, I'm not very good in lessons. Like, I'm not a very, academically good person.
Okay.
And I think these past 6 months, I've stuck my head down and I've said to myself, right, this is the last year, year 11. I'm going to put my head down, revise every night, get the work done in lessons. And then when it comes to exams, I'll be more prepared and get those grades that I need.
Yeah, okay.
And then obviously now it's cancelled. I don't know where I'm going to stand because I'm still at those low grades. So I don't know how it's going to work now.
So did you put your head down and start working hard?
Yeah, of course.
Did you?
Yeah, straight away.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What were some of the benefits of working hard in those 6 months, right? Remove the whole idea of exams. There surely has to be some type of benefit to still working hard, right? What benefits do you think there is for you working hard in those 6 months leading up to, say, Boris announcing lockdown?
Well, I think mentally you feel really good about yourself. Like, you feel proper confident in lessons and just overall you feel really good about it. I think when you're in the lessons, you start to understand it much more, and like you start to expand your mind on everything. It just overall, it's just better. Like, it just improves everything.
That's amazing. And when you think about it, when we're not normally good at something, we avoid it, right?
Yeah.
We just tend to avoid it because it's easier to do it. And if we actually give something a chance and we start to get good, then we start to enjoy it. It does work.
Yeah.
So the fact that you said you're feeling a bit more confident is amazing and definitely a huge positive, because you have to ask yourself, now you know how to work hard. Now you know how to take the benefits out of something you might not even enjoy, but you still do it anyway. Where a lot of people, mate, how old are you, 15, 16 now?
16, yeah.
16, a lot of 16-year-olds can't do that. So give yourself a little bit of a credit, right? So initial thoughts, obviously, we were shocked about Boris announcing lockdown. How did you spend last week, the first week of lockdown? Where was your head at?
Well, in terms of online learning, I could not find any motivation. That was the hardest thing to find. Like, I didn't know. Obviously I attended some lessons over Zoom and Microsoft Teams, but it's just the motivation to do the work, especially when you know exams are cancelled. So you're thinking in your mind, what's the point? Why should I go on?
Amazing, mate. So what was your biggest challenge last week and even this week? What would you say your biggest challenges are?
I think I think inputting 100% into every lesson is hard. Like, it's not the same over Zoom and Microsoft Teams than it is in the classroom. Like, you can't really speak to them that well, if you know what I mean. Like, the connection's not there. Like, you don't feel it.
Yeah, I got that, man. Totally understand that. And I mean, it's not going to be the same, is it? From even seeing me in real life doing what I do compared to behind a computer screen, it's never going to be the same. Have you started to get into the flow of it yet? Are you started to come to terms with the challenges we're faced with at the moment?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a grip, I think. Yeah, but I think on behalf of my mates, I think I'm a bit worried about them because half of them aren't attending lessons at all. So I don't know what to do, but I want to help them out in a way. Yeah.
Obviously, of course, they're your friends, right? You want to help them out. But let me ask you a question. With your friends, what are the problems with trying to put your energy and trying to help them? What is the problem with that?
I think the first one's waking up early.
Mm.
I don't really know, to be fair. I don't
Let's
know.
be honest, right? I'll help you there a little bit. You have to think to yourself, if we're worried about our friends, worried about they're not doing the work, it shows that you're a good friend. I get it, but we can't control what they do. You know, there's only so much you can do, and probably the best way you can inspire them to do something is by putting in the work and the action yourself. Because you can be out there, people think, oh, working hard's not cool. But really, if you're putting in the work and you're saying, listen, this is what I've done, I'm getting into it and I'm making progress, that will probably give them the kickstart they need more than you saying, listen, you got to do it. Let's be honest, right? We had a few email communications with your mum before now. If your mum says you got to go and do it, that kind of external motivation, or in yourself, you know you have to do it, you're probably more likely going to do it if you know you have to, more than your mum telling you have to. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the big goal then, mate? What's the big goal?
Well, in the future, I want to be a commercial pilot. That's my dream, because as a kid, I've just loved planes. I know some people think that's weird, but that's just me. I just love them.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. It's planes. Some people have different views on them.
Okay.
But I think, that's my dream, and I know I have to put a lot of effort in to get there. And I think only this last year I've noticed what I have to do, and that's when I've started to change and like put more effort in than I usually do. And yeah,
that's amazing. So what do you have to do to get there? You said you've worked out what you have to do to get there. What is the process of becoming a commercial pilot?
So for GCSE wise, you have to, I think the minimum is a grade 4 across 5 subjects. Grade 5 would be better. And then I think you need 3 A levels.
A levels, okay.
Yeah, and then you can attend a flight school where you get your licenses and stuff, and then you can acquire a job.
Okay. What would help your case as well? Take not just grades, but what else would help your case? Of saying when you applied for flight school and all, and when they're looking on taking different people, they got 100 applications. What could separate you from everybody else? Apart from the Dreams to Reality podcast now, of course.
I think my mentality on things and like how I deal with situations.
Okay. Amazing. So what would you say, what would you say if you can name 5 to 10 off the top of your head? What are 5 to 10 main characteristics of a commercial pilot? What do you reckon makes a commercial pilot good at what they do?
So I'd say you have to be good at quick decisions.
Quick decisions?
Yeah. Think ahead.
Forward thinking?
Yeah. What else would there be?
I'm writing this down as we're talking.
I'd say
quick decisions, forward thinking.
Yeah, I'd say to try and keep calm in situations, because it is a very stressful job.
Of course. Think more basic as well. Do you think you'll be a good pilot if you're very unorganized?
No. So yeah, be organized, and I think determined in a way as well, because I know some pilots, you have to wake up early, so you have to have that mindset like, right, okay, I'm going to wake up early, plan everything, I'm going to get this done.
Determined, organization. So I guess that would also be punctuality as well, turning up on time, waking up early. Yeah. Punctuality. Okay, so we got what there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got quick decisions, forwards thinking, being calm, being organized, being determined, and punctuality as well. How many of them do you reckon you tick the box on a normal day? Would you say you're good at making quick decisions?
I wouldn't say at the moment, no.
That's fine. Would you say, what about forward thinking?
Well, it depends on the situation, if you know what I mean.
Of course. So would you say you're relatively calm?
Yeah.
I would say so. Are you organized? Or should I ask your mum
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I think that's my mum, that.
Would you say you're
Nah,
organized?
yeah, I'd say I'm organised, yeah.
Good, mate. Okay. Determined? I think you definitely are.
Yeah.
Would you say you're punctual?
I'm working on it.
Working on it. There you go. And the reason why I asked that, right, mate, is just because simply I think it's just a good, quick little activity because I always, obviously, as you know, go into these schools and people say, I want to do this, I want to do that, da, 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 da. And I say, okay, name 10 characteristics of becoming that job or whatever you want to do. And they name the 10. And I say, now tick how many you think you live on a daily basis. And they might tick 1, 2, or even maybe 3. And these same people most of the time are telling me that school and education's a waste of time. There's no point doing this. But actually, education, school it goes a lot more deeper than just grades itself. And they're teaching us the life lessons. So when I said, okay, exams may be out the window, but the fact that you turn up for 6 months before that and you've worked hard shows that you're willing to develop and improve every single day. So your character would take a massive kind of shift in the right direction. We're not always going to tick all the boxes, and on different days we may be organized, on another day we might not be. But it's all about figuring out, what do we need to do to become that person? You seem heavily focused on becoming a commercial pilot, right? That's your goal. So we can put a lot of energy and a lot of focus on that. For example, what does a car mechanic need to fix a car? Not a trick question. What does a car mechanic need to fix a car?
Brain.
A brain. What else?
Like, wait, a car mechanic, right? Nah, you put me on the spot now.
No, be basic. You're trying to overcomplicate it. What does a car mechanic need?
He needs to know like what he's doing with engines and stuff.
What else? What else? What does he need in his hands?
Oh, tools.
Tools, yes. Right, we got that. So the same way a car mechanic would use tools to fix a car to get a job done is the same way we can use school and the next couple of months, the next 6 months, 2 years, 5 years as a tool to get us to where we want to get to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're struggling to get that motivation. Try and figure out, okay, I got to sit in this lesson now. I don't really like this lesson, but I understand that if I can do things I don't really like, then it's going to help me when I do other things I don't like. Because let's be honest, I love doing what I do, but there's always parts of my job I hate doing. But I know if I have to do that to do the things I love. So it's all about kind of repetition. It's all about kind of programming and getting used to it. It's not always going to be fun, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, say if lockdown wasn't here and we'd be talking as if we were in the classroom, I think the people around you have an effect on you as well. Like, my problem is, for example, there's a certain lesson, it's chemistry. I've got every time before I walk into that classroom, I'm like, right, okay, that's it. No messing about. I'm going to put my head down. But I've got mates around me and it never, ever works out. I'm always getting distracted, always. And it never works. And I don't know how.
That's a difficult one, right? But you've hit the kind of nail on the head. That environment is very, very important. Not just talking about in your science lesson or in one of your lessons, but in general, who you're around is very important. So, for example, when I was your age, I was around the wrong people, so I made bad decisions. Can't pull it on other people. I still made the decisions. But when I started playing American football, I started situating myself around people who had goals and dreams, and I started to think like that as well. But what do you think you could do to improve your behavior in those lessons?
I'd say move seats mainly.
Okay, move seats.
I don't know. That's the problem. Like, I don't know how to block out distractions. That's my biggest problem.
I guess that's also somewhat normal as well, right? But you can't block
Yeah.
out distractions. Have you had a conversation with your friends about it?
No.
So maybe, even though it may not be cool or whatever, maybe it's worth having a conversation. Say, listen, I'm up for having a laugh. And you know what? You don't have to be serious all the time, sit at the front, take loads of notes.
Yeah.
But you can let them know, actually, do you know what? This subject's going to make a difference. I need to pay attention. And once again, you're leading by example. You're not following the pack, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if they're real friends that understand, and they probably think the same as you. If you're all going in there saying, oh, I want to work hard in this lesson, but we're all getting distracted. If you actually have that open conversation, do you reckon there'd be a bit of probably similarities in the way you all think? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's still going to be a difficult one, right? When you're in the class and you might not enjoy the subject too much, but you got your best friend next to you. It's always going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Always going to be difficult. Okay, so just say we're in lockdown from now until Easter at least. What do you think you can do to take control of the situation?
I'd say to put 100% effort in
Okay,
everything you do.
is that let's be honest, playing is 100% effort realistic, bro? Because it's easy saying we got to put in 100% effort, but that's quite difficult, especially if we're in front of the computer 4-5 hours a day. Do you think 100% is realistic?
No.
Probably not, right? So what happens if you put in 100%? If you say you got to put in 100% and you don't do it, how do you think that will make you feel?
Pretty upset in a way.
How else? What else?
Angry at yourself. Yeah, that's just how it is. If you don't put 100% in, you're not going to feel good after. You'll be thinking back like, okay, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that?
Okay. So I want to try and reframe that a little bit, right? Because if we're setting ourselves a target of being 100% all in, I love it. I'm that type of person as well. Over time, what do you think would happen if we've got to work hard, work hard, work hard?
Get tired.
Get and exhausted and burnt out. So amazing, right? So the goal is always progress over perfection.
Yeah.
Right? If there's anything, one of my favorite quotes of all time is progress over perfection. Perfection is 100%. And if we're thinking we're going to get 100%, some people are like, oh, Cameron, I don't care what you say, 100, 100, 100. I know firsthand. I was always the one telling people you got to go after it 110%, don't sleep, work hard. But in reality, for longevity, that's not, it's not possible. So what we need to be trying to do is trying to figure out how can we get from the 80, how can we play between the 70 and 100%, right? 70 and 100%. I might be like 70, that's way too low. But if we're going 100% for 5 lessons, then the next 5 we're at 20% because we're tired and we're bored and we're frustrated. We need to try and keep that progress throughout.
Yeah.
Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, it does.
All I don't want you to do is burn out. And you're only in year 11. You've still got A levels ahead of you. You've still got flight school ahead of you. There's a lot of learning to do. And we just don't want to burn out thinking we got to go 100% because that's what a motivational video told me on YouTube to do. That doesn't mean you don't try your hardest, but we just got to plan and understand that, okay, if I didn't feel too great in that subject or that lesson, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person and I'm not going to fail. Small steps wins. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the original question, what I just asked you. What can you do in the next couple of months in lockdown to take control?
Stop worrying about the future. That's what I can think of right now. That's what I can think of.
Let's dive into it. What do you worry about? You said the future, but what exactly?
The end, like GCSEs, that is my biggest worry. Like, I don't think I'm going to get there. I know other people can back themselves up with that as well. Like, the future's not like reassuring, if you know what I mean.
Explain.
Like, so say we wanted to get a grade 4, which is a pass in GCSE, and
Where do you
we've
think
been
you're
put.
at now, by the way?
I think I'm near there, but I don't think I am there.
Okay.
I'd say, yeah, after putting all this work in, how do we know that we're going to get there? Like, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, we're not reassured. We don't know how it's going to work, because it's teacher assessed grades now, isn't it?
I'm
So we
not
don't
sure.
know.
I'm not too sure. I don't even know if it's fully been announced yet.
Right. So let's say
So
it is
what this
teacher
could
assessed.
be is just speculation, right? It could
Yeah.
just be speculation. We don't know. So
Yeah.
then
So
what does
say
that mean? What does that mean you're worrying? What are you doing when you're worrying?
you're just panicking, and then after that, you lose your mind. You don't know
You're
what to do.
wasting energy.
Wasting energy. Yeah.
So when you're in that state, what we need to do is like, okay, the future is uncertain. It is. You got it hard, bro. You really do have it hard. I get it. That's not an excuse. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But you've got to ask yourself when you're in that state, don't worry about my exams. Don't worry about anything else. What can I do in this moment to take control? How can I shift my energy onto something else? It doesn't even have to be work. It could just be going out for a walk, listening to music with your headphones on. Because your worrying isn't going to change what?
The
Nothing.
future.
It's not going to change nothing.
Yeah.
And you got to tell yourself, right? Just say you don't get a 4, you don't get a pass. Does that mean your pilot career is over?
I think there's other options, but I'm not too sure.
Of course there is. Worst case scenario, you just retake your exams.
Yeah.
And then you go onto your A levels.
Yeah. But I think time comes into that as well. Like, do we have enough time for that?
What's the
Because
goal?
like,
Go back to you have to go back to what the goal is. You've already said the goal is ultimately to become a commercial pilot. Whether that takes you 5 years or 10 years or 15, it depends whether you're committed and that's what you really want. It might change in the future, which will be fine, but it's just about doing what you want. That's what life is, man. It's not about money. It's not about even becoming a pilot. It's just about living the life you want to live and doing your best and making progress. But if you, like for me, mate, I said, I'm going to be the best speaker in the world, right? I truly believe it. I said that 10 years ago. I thought I was going to be it in 2 years. But it never works like that. But I said to myself, regardless of what hiccups come, or regardless of what happens, challenges I'm faced with, I know I'm still going to get there. Yeah, I have bad days. Yeah, I cry sometimes. But I know I'm still going to get there because I'm not going to stop until I do. So if I don't get English, I'll go to college next year and get my English so then I can go into A levels.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way.
Your future is much bigger than just what happens over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
The next 6 months doesn't even matter to your future because you're going to be a commercial pilot and you're going to get there. So it doesn't matter.
That's mad. I've never thought of it that way, ever.
But how much more kind of reassuring is it when you tell yourself, okay, that's my goal. I'm going to get there regardless of what happens today. It's reassuring because it's like, actually, do you know what? I'm going to experience hiccups. We're in it. But I'm still going to get there. It doesn't matter. Might take me a year longer, 2 years longer. Still going to do it.
This might seem dumb, but that's crazy. Generally, I've never thought of it that way, ever.
Because why do you think you don't? Why don't you think of it in that way? Do you reckon?
I don't know. It's just how my mind is. That's just I've never like.
You're too busy worrying.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're not the only one. That's why I really wanted to do this with you because you're not the only one. And I receive messages after messages, and it's just so important, man. I feel for you. And the problem is we all want somebody to blame. We all want to blame the teachers, the government, our parents, our friends. but nobody, it's new, it's a new situation for everyone, but it comes back down to the basics, which I said to you, what can we control?
So you control your feelings. That's one. You control like your mentality on things, and then you control your energy. So don't waste it on worrying. Yeah.
Easier said than done, right? But sometimes
Yeah.
it's just about changing. If you're on your desk all day and you're starting to panic, your anxiety is building up, all of these things, just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Just change your space for 20 minutes if you have to. Go and talk to your mum about something completely different.
Yeah.
Because we're all human, so we're going to feel it from time to time. But it's just about trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? What puts me into that state? What are the triggers and how can I avoid it moving forward so I can focus on what I can control?
Yeah.
So when there is more clarity, you can go to your teachers and say, Miss, Sir, I really want to pass my English, my maths, or whatever lesson it is. What can I do to ensure that I pass it? I will do anything.
Yeah.
Tell me what I need to do and I will do it. Then what are they giving you? They're giving you an idea and a plan.
Yeah.
Then you've got something to focus on right now.
Yeah. And a plan's a very important thing, I think, because they do work well. And like obviously you know what you're doing, you're setting your mind on it, and it's just step by step, isn't it?
Why does a plan work for you?
Because like you've got a plan, you know how you're going to get there, you know what to do step by step, and then over time you're going to build up, and then you'll reach it in the end, won't you?
Definitely.
As long as
Or you might not. But if you don't, what do? You make another plan.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's just ongoing, right? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. You've been amazing today. I think we've worked through some things. If you can, I would want you to put down a little plan of what you can do in lockdown. Maybe say 5 to 10 goals of what you can do in lockdown. It can be small things, big things, just 5 to 10 things you can do. For example, one could be looking to becoming a commercial pilot even more, the grades, or looking in people's stories who are already commercial pilots. Could you reach out to people and email them who are already doing the job?
Yeah.
Right? Ask them, what can you tell me? Is there any experience I can have? Maybe it's about going to bed half an hour earlier just to keep your energy focused.
Yeah.
Because you have to think to ourselves, for me as well, when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling angry, when I'm feeling sad, most of the time I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, that's like me as well.
How do you sleep? How's your rest and stuff?
Well, at the moment, I'm kind of being really crazy. I've started to wake up at like 5 a.m. and going on morning runs. The only problem with that is I have to change what time I go to bed. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to find a schedule and a pattern and what to like, how to work. So yeah.
Okay. What have you learned from running at 5 a.m.?
I think what I've learned is you need discipline. You definitely need discipline in your life to get there.
Okay.
I think in the mornings as well, your mind's more thoughtful, because I'd say half the world's still asleep at that time, so you've got no distractions from your phone or anything. So you're thinking dead deep as you're by yourself running about things. And
Does that help you?
Definitely.
So you already know one thing that already works.
Yeah.
Experience. Keep working, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Just don't be too hard on yourself, yeah? What was that quote? What was that quote I shared with you earlier?
Oh, I don't know. You gave me a lot of information.
You can watch us back. Progress over perfection.
Yeah.
I want you to write it out, do a post and stick it on your wall, all right? Progress over perfection. You got this, man. Right. I'll continue chatting to you on email and stuff anyway. So I'll be following your journey. But give me one of your biggest takeaways from this call today. One of your biggest takeaways today.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say one. I'd say I've got a lot of things to take away from this. But I'd say one is to stop wasting your energy on worrying about things, because let's be honest, we can't change anything about the future or anything. So yeah. And then another thing I'd say is to keep the focus. Don't give up and carry on. But don't what was it? Don't put 100% in all the time, because you're gonna get tired over it.
Well, just don't give yourself that expectation, right? It sounds nice. It sounds good. Put in 100% work. But we have to give ourselves real kind of expectations in a way. And as you've already said, if you don't meet that expectation, which you haven't at points, you feel angry, you feel low, and you don't feel good.
Yeah.
So it's about, those expectations. But anyway, guys, and thank you as well, mate. I'm going to wrap up this podcast on here before you go. I just want to quickly say, guys, if you found this very, very valuable, please do like, comment, subscribe. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And if you also want to jump on one of these calls with me, do reach out. But I just want to say it takes a huge amount of courage to jump on here with me, share your story. And I'm just very thankful. And if there's anything I can do moving forward to help you, I'm sure we'll talk anyway. Just let me know. All right, mate? Okay, before I wrap this up, you got two tables, right? One table of excuses, the other of results. You can sit on one table, but guess what? You can't sit on both.
Yeah.
Excuses or results. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Bye-bye.